or the one that works best in our cocktails. We're always very cocktail friendly. You know, not to say we're trying to dissuade people from drinking simple, you know, sipping spirits, but if it doesn't work in a cocktail, we're not gonna carry it. So we carry 3/4 measure. I can talk forever, please forgive me. Talk up if you need to. So like Richard said, we carry, that gets Appleton. Usually use VS, but I'm gonna be fancy because this one's gonna be for me because I really need it. It's a 3/4 measure of Appleton 12. Then we carry, make sure it's not the 75. If you're ever using Lemon Heart, look at the bottle, because the 75 and the 150 look exactly the same. Literally, every time you see me bartend, I'm like, okay, that's the one. And that gets a 3/4 measure of Lemon Heart 80. Then we give fresh lime. This is lime. Nope. Oh, that's lime, right?
Lime juice.
I'm going to pretend this is lime.
Yeah, pretend it's lime.
Just for the people. Just for the people. So we give a 3/4 measure of lime.
Honey and lime.
Okay. Oh, that's not
the Brooklynite style.
Okay. That's not going to be good. We just invented a new drink here. We're going to do something. Imagine it's lime. It'll be great.
History in the making.
Long story short, like what you see here is our house-made orgeat. Usually takes around 3 to 4 hours to prepare. Totally worth it. There are a few orgeats I can recommend. Like there's one in San Francisco. Small Hand Food stuff that is fantastic. Trader Tiki stuff is also great. But part of the beauty of owning a bar and owning a fucking bar is basically we make everything in-house. We don't want our drinks to taste like anyone else's drinks. It's a little bit labor of love. My day guy loves making, 8 bottles of orgeat at a time.
Is your orgeat
we pay him very well for that.
Yeah.
Is your orgeat recipe on there?
Orgeat is not on the books. I can tell you what it is right now off the top of my head. For every liter, you add 8 ounces of almond powder or blanched silver almonds. Then we cut that. Then we make something called an almond milk. We cut that, make that a rich simple syrup, 2 to 1. So for every ounce of almond milk, we add 2 ounces of sugar. And then we cut that with rose water, and then we add something because we're crazy Italians called faretti.
Ooh.
And
you're a crazy
it's
Italian?
Right here. I'm only half crazy Italian. My father would love me saying that. And we add something called faretti. We don't actually carry amaretto. Me and Richard have not found amaretto that we're crazy about. Faretti is this beautiful biscotti liqueur, has this beautiful almond toasted flavor that we love. If you guys want to taste, you can't have any because it's the only bottle I have until tomorrow. And then we scent it with that. And then we do something called the 3/8 measure. I know when people look at the website, they're like, what the fuck is a 3/8 measure? Whenever we're making sour cocktails, we try to keep certain ratios in check. So we'll do something that's basically 2, 3/4, 3/4. So we'll go 3/4 citrus, 3/4 sweet, and then 2 of spirit. So you notice I only added 1 1/2. That'll be explained later. So we go, the 3/8 measure is basically half of a 3/4 jigger. So that gets that. Curacao, which should be somewhere here. Here it is. Curacao, Grand Marnier, because we're big historical nerds and we're big losers and we think about things like this. Grand Marnier is the original Curacao. Used to be called Grand Marnier Curacao. They raised their ABV, cut the sugar, and eventually what you have now is Grand Marnier. It's kind of like triple sec, where like Cointreau used to be called triple sec, and eventually everybody started making copies, so they just took off triple sec. Grand Marnier just took off Curacao. So we actually make ours 3 parts Grand Marnier to 1 part Demerara sugar, cut the ABV down to like 60, and we give it a 3. We basically top that off. So that's 3/4 measure. So there you have your 3/8, 3/8. I know the Tiki files, I've seen a few postings on Tiki Central about the amount of ice that we add in our drinks. We can explain that very quickly also. We're big believers in the importance of ice. It's actually been sitting for a while.
I read your
Thank you, Richard.
I read Giuseppe's post.
We're big believers in we're big believers in ice. We give this called a dry shake. Think of your glass as a jigger. Your jigger holds a certain amount of water. So when you're served drinks at tiki bars, this is a problem we saw in all tiki bars, I won't name any names, where you're served a drink, actually, I'll give you an example. And your drink looks something like this. And that's gross. Basically, that's all water. Whenever you see floating, they're not giving you more alcohol, they're not giving you more citrus, they're giving you water. You know what I mean? So we treat the glass like a jigger. And my partner, once again, is grabbing me a fresh glass because I'm just totally screwing his day up. There we go. So we tap it up. So we pack it up. It's good to be best friends. There we go. So we go right there. We give this a dry shake. Primarily the only reason we dry shake this without ice is because we want to control the amount of water that's going in there. And more importantly, since the orgeat is so heavy, if we were to just pour it in there or pour it in the glass, it will actually sit at the bottom. Like, because it's so rich. So we actually go this, you pour over fresh crushed ice. We have something called the wash level. Basically, it'll stop somewhere around there. We'll touch it. We'll be ever so delicate. Literally, I'll just go bam, bam, touch it. Won't mess with it at all. Because I know that's the amount of water I want in my cocktail. Oh, I just threw absinthe in there. That's totally not going to be good. There we go. This is not soy sauce. This is Karuba. You know how many times just like, is that soy sauce? I'm like, no, it's not. We are in Chinatown. We don't put soy sauce in our drinks. There we go. And even then, that drink, because I'm talking and I'm not really paying attention, so let it sit too long, that drink should look something like, when we serve it, and I'm not talking, it should be somewhere around there. Minimal water content. You can taste rum. You can taste fresh lime. You know, we're trying to use the best ingredients, house made, curacao, everything. And then, that's actually not bad. Not bad. And if anyone thinks that we're reinventing anything, or this is basically painkiller specific, keep in mind, Trader Vic, Dom Beach did not have a place to source their limes, did not have a place to source their orgeat. Whenever they bought a rum, it was always bought from someone that owned a distillery. When he bought a rum, he wasn't talking to a rep. He was talking to the guy that owned the fucking distillery. You know what I mean? So everything was fresh. Everything was made in-house. This is how tiki drinks used to taste like the 1940s. Let's not talk about the 1970s, which is where our bar is based. But anyway, you know, where me and Richie grew up. Anyway, but keep in mind, cheers.
Cheers.
Next time we'll talk about the zombie. We'll have another hour.